talked to a student recently at one of our woke college campuses who said she's required in every class to introduce herself and to give her pronouns. Well, I'm Ted Cruz, and my pronoun is kiss my ass.
Well, it's me. It's the Prepared Mind. It's Sunday Night Live, and we're at the zoo. Yes, we made it. I'm back. You're in luck, folks. We've got one hell of a broadcast coming up. The thumbnail for the video, it's all on fire. Flames galore. Thank you to Joe Biden. His entire administration is a dumpster fire. The world is actually on fire, in flames. Folks, it's Sunday Night Live. If you're here, hit the thumbs up. If you're here, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And if you're here, share this internet address, the one at the top, the URL. Share it wide and far. Now, this is Sunday Night Live. This is not like Monday through Friday. This isn't like Zero Dark 30. Those shows have their merits and their points, but Sunday Night Live is the zoo where we've got subscribestar.com. We've got the preparedmind.club, both of our premium channels, but then we bring in the YouTube. All the YouTubers are here, and it's the zoo. So how do we participate? How do we talk? How do we do this? If you want to speak, you hit that super chat button up there, make a donation, get your questions right on screen, and I'll make you famous. The world will get to hear what you want to talk about. It's your show. Now, other ways to do it: Venmo, CashApp, PayPal. That all works. So we're going to start off tonight's show with a massive $50 super chat donation from Darcy T, who has this to say: "Good evening, John. Some coin for the till and salute." Salute. Now, one more thing. Super chat donations of $50 or more do a Glenn Levitt 18. And so Darcy T, who's done that, well, guess what? She's going to get the first shot off of this new bottle tonight. Thank you, Darcy T, for supporting the channel. Freedom, liberty, and the American way. It's kind of like mother's milk. I tell you what, your donations go into the Get the Fuck Back and Stay Back, the GTFB and SB fund. 3 years ago, about this time, I came back from the RMZ, a land of milk and honey and pineapples and mangoes and all kinds of crap. I was in the jungle, and it was time to get it on. I thought, time for a big fight. And it truly is that time. It truly is that time, folks. It has hit the fan. These people are serious. These are some bad, bad, evil people. Thank you, Jolene. Thank you, Uman. They're both in the house also. We've got bad people that are just trying to destroy our culture and our society. There's got bad people trying to destroy the government. And Biden is responsible, folks. He's at the helm. He's like Captain Smith on the Titanic. He's looking for icebergs to hit. Full steam ahead. Now, people are fighting back. Not just little people like me and you. Not just us. We've got real important, real powerful people out there fighting, folks. And it's important that we support them. Right? Fruitcakes are now fighting harder than ever. They're lying harder than ever. They're bombing, burning, looting, and murdering harder than ever. Now, Pink News, which is kind of a fruitcake setup, is pissed off Riley Gaines. And Riley Gaines was a famous swimmer, a real woman born with her own vagina. That's right. And that is a serious message. Now, it's not just a joke. It's not a punchline. It's not a byword. Well, her message she sent out to Pink News this weekend. And that Pink News, folks, claimed on its website, and here's the quote: "Anti-trans harassment peddled on social media by former U.S. college swimmer Riley Gaines has been linked with a bomb threat at a California library. Really, folks, Riley Gaines, a U.S. college swimmer, is linked with a bomb threat at a California library? Unbelievable. Now, someone commented on this and said, oh, look, they're trying to do to Riley Gaines what they did to libs of TikTok, to somehow find a way to tie her to violence because she dared show what is actually happening in the trans movement, patriarchy and bad, when she highlighted a female athlete getting shouted down at a California public library. Interesting stuff, folks. Interesting stuff. They want to claim that Riley Gaines, a normal American patriotic person, not a terrorist, not a left-wing sycophant weirdo. Oh yeah, folks, it's going to get crazy. It is. It is. Where do we go from here? Well, let's just talk more about all the wonderful goodness that comes from the trans movement. At Disney World, Disneyland, Disneyland, more men are being photographed. They've been released to the public, spread around the internet. Men in drag, men dressing as women, greeting children, little children at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique dress shop. These are sick, perverted bastards, folks, one and all. One and all. Everything coming out of this government is crazy. Do you think for a second they won't pull the trigger on your neighborhood where you live and bring down your world around you, whether it's your local economy, the nature around you, as in the woods, the jungles, the swamps, the forests, the deserts? These are some sick bastards, folks. They're willing to put men dressed as women in front of kids to confuse them. And I'm going to read something in a little bit that is going to freak you out. Absolutely freak you out. And what do you want to talk about? This is, after all, Sunday Night Live, and it's your show. Hit the super chat button. Tell me what's on your mind. I've got a lot of stuff to tell you that's on my mind, folks. They're trying to burn it all down. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not exaggerating. This is how bad they are. I started off with Senator Ted Cruz and his quote that he gave the world months and months ago about, college students having to use their pronouns. And pronoun, kiss my ass. That's good. Thank you, Senator. Now do something else. Riley Gaines, giving them a hard time. Good. Now keep going and keep fighting. We all need to join in this fight, folks. There's no way to win it without us all being in it. Truly, we've got a lot of trouble, folks. We do. Now, Chin Music has stepped up and done a $22.23 super chat donation through Venmo. Thank you very much, Chin Music. When he gets his comments up here, whenever he gets them up there, I'm sure that Uman or Jolene will throw it on there, and pow, there it is. And he says this: as we go careening towards a new set of convid madness, convid, COVID, cerveza bug is what he's talking about, with masks and possible lockdowns. Be advised, if you lefties get in my face with that nonsense, you can expect the response to be mostly peaceful. Jelly Brain Joe, that's a good one, man. Jelly Bean Joe. Jelly Brain Joe said he signed an order for funding for a juice. That's right, folks, a Jim Jones juice that works, accidentally admitting that the Jim Jones version is lacking. I thought, Chin Music, that the Jim Jones juice was both safe and effective. That's what I thought. Good golly, I thought that's what the case was. What are we going to do with this? Oh, I've got something for you, folks. I've got something for you. We're going to get into it here. But following with following with Chin Music, I've got a surprise for you. And it's really not a huge surprise, but it's a surprise. Where do we go? Where am I hiding this stuff? Let's see. There we are. Oh, yeah. This is some good stuff. This was sent to be my Mr. T. Mr. T sent this. Pretty damn scary, is it not? Pretty damn scary. Pretty nasty. I've got a whole file full of those from Mr. T now. Yeah, so Chin Music's correct. Biden is getting new funding, additional funding, because he wants a new Jim Jones juice that works. I mean, isn't that interesting? We want one that works. I thought the other one did work. I thought it was safe and effective. Is the new, if he wants the funding for one that works, is he going to get some funding that's safe? And then he came out with the pièce de résistance. He warned us all and said that this is a quote, no matter whether they've gotten it before or not. What's he referring to? You're all going to get it. We're all going to get it, whether we've had it before or not. Whether we've gotten it before or not, we're all going to get it. I thought that they came out and they said they can't force us. Oh, we never forced anyone to get it. We never told anyone they had to. Well, when it comes to the Joe Biden, Jelly Brain Joe, I can say not a fucking chance in hell, pal. Yeah, if they're going to get it right next time so that it works, yeah, they're going to get it right and it'll kill you dead and faster than ever. I think that's their new program. I'm tuned up, folks. I'm torqued up. We've got Uman in the house. We got Jolene in the house. We've got me in the bunker, and it is Sunday Night Live. We're past 250 live, and we're heading out the gates. I want us to have over 500. So hit that thumbs up. Make sure you share that internet address up there, and get into the comment section. Get into the comment section. Okay, Jolene, let's do it. We got another super chat donation out there. What do we got? It is Toon Tamasha with a Czechoslovakian $50. And he says 4+ shots. I'll tell you what. A Czechoslovakian $50 has a US dollar value of $2.24. That's a good one. Good try. Anyways, he says 4+ shots. Folks, this is the recommendation coming from Toon Tamasha. Research IgG4. Right, October, December mandates return. Reduction coming 25 to 2030. Culling complete. 3 billion gone. Autumn, Taiwan, Korea. Now, Toon Tamasha has a lot of information here that's encoded. My recommendation is research IgG4 to live. Okay, if you want to live, research IgG4. I think one of the big keys here is to not take anything that is dangerous, unhealthy, risky, or screwy. You can bet your ass I will not be lining up to not take it. I won't be having anything to do with these people, folks. Not a damn thing. It's scary. Thank you much, Toon Tamasha, for that one. That's it. Well, we get Czechoslovakian money. We've gotten Russian rubles. We've gotten kroners. We've gotten Aussie dollars. We get money from all over the planet because people are all over the planet and they want to engage in the conversation. That's why this is called the prepared mind. Yes, you need food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine. You need means of self-defense in your plan. But part of the plan, part of the prepping, part of the understanding is understanding world events and where they're taking us. Where they're taking us. Just a couple of days ago, a person took to Twitter, social media, and they put out there that later this week, this coming week, so we all get to see, We all get to listen. We all get to pay attention. Is this bullshit? Is it a lie or is it real? A woman said, and she's a medical person, it's out there, that in Broward County, Florida, they're going to announce an outbreak of the new cerveza bug. In fact, while I was out and about today, I picked up a story that said they discovered a new strain. I love how they call it a strain. Remember when they were calling it a mutate? It's mutating. It's a new strain of cerveza bug that they found in the wastewater systems. In other words, they found cerveza bug at the sewer plants. Now, here's the deal. Are you surprised at all that there's filthy germs and disease living in poop? Why should we be surprised at all? You would think that cerveza bug and bacteria and all manner of filth is down there reproducing and multiplying and coming up with new strains as it mutates. Yeah, that's why they have wastewater treatment plants, to kill all that shit. But, that's how they want to scare us. There's a new strain coming, and there's going to be outbreaks, and get ready for mask mandates. Oh, yeah, that's here, folks. It's all over the top of us. All over the top. Right, there it is, yeah. And who's reporting that? I'm sorry, I want to make sure it's complete. You guys understand exactly who we're dealing with here when it comes to this new strain. Who's telling us all about it? Who's telling us all about it? It's the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control. That's right. They found that new variant, that new strain in U.S. wastewater. Ooh, not China. Not in China. What an amazing discovery. It's in these sewer systems. But they want us to be scared. They really do. That's where they're going with all this. But I want you to be sure that you are ready to save grandma and grandpa. If we can just save one life, it's worth wearing masks, right? Well, let's see. We keep hearing from Dr. Fauci and the CDC and the National Institutes of Health. Are you prepared? Folks, the National Institutes of Health, they have a study. What did this study suggest? That wearing N95 masks is good? No! What they said is that N95 cerveza bug masks may expose wearers to toxic chemicals, compounds that are linked to seizures and cancer in human beings. Thanks, Dr. Fauci. Thanks. And they're already trying to shut down schools again. Remember when Dr. Fauci said, I have nothing to do with that?
Was it a mistake in so many states and so many localities to see schools closed as long as they were?
Well, I don't want to use the word mistake.
Well, did we pay too high a price?
There will be deleterious collateral consequences. If you go back, and I ask anybody to go back over the number of times that I've said we've got to do everything we can to keep the schools open, no one plays that clip. They always come back and say,
because that clip doesn't exist. The lying son of a bitch. He wanted school shut down. He wanted kids at home. He wanted people wearing not one, not two, but 10 masks. He's full of shit. How far would you trust this guy, right? Not at all, folks. Not at all. We're over 330 people live right now, heading on up. I think we are going to hit 500 today live at one time. So stay on, stay tuned in to the topics, folks. This is going to get nasty. Absolutely nasty. They're trying the cerveza bug stuff. What do you want to talk about? This is your show. This is Sunday Night Live. This is the zoo. And it's go time, folks. It's go time. It's just going to get nasty. It's going to get nasty. Taking care of a couple things here. I got a message from Mr. Skylight, who typically does a super chat donation and does a quote. But he does come in early, and he let me know, hey, tell everyone to go to the SGT report. and I'm going to recommend the same thing. In addition to the Prepared Mind, there are a lot of great news sources out there. Some folks are a little more fear-porn than others, but everywhere you're going to find information. Everywhere you're going to find information about these bastards and how they're trying to kill us all. And I don't think that that is hyperbole. I don't think that that's a gross exaggeration. I don't think that. What have we been hearing? I mean, they will come to your house directly. You're a 75-year-old man. You don't like Biden? No problem. The FBI will come and visit you. Well, if you're a left-wing lunatic and you want to threaten Republicans, threaten Christians, well, you'll get away with it. But if you're 75 years old, crippled, and you're upset with Biden and you make a ridiculous threat, they'll show up at your house and kill you. Now, that's not the only one, folks. It's happened down in Texas. Now we have another one. And the FBI is refusing to answer for why a woman's home was the subject of a pre-dawn raid. They shot and killed this mother's son. And the mother's son was a disabled veteran named Theodore Deschler. A disabled veteran, folks. I wonder why. There's a lot of people, folks, calling for violence out there. Are you concerned at all? And I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about there are people now calling for violence, calling for armed revolution. There are people calling for taking this government out. I'm not one of them. I do not recommend and glamorize and glorify that sort of thing. But I want to ask, right now we have a disabled veteran. Before dawn, before the sun comes up, the FBI raids the house, shoots and kills him. And the FBI says, when it comes to why are you here? Why did you do this? Why did you storm the house? Well, it's none of your business. That's need to know information, and you don't need to know. That's where we're at with these fucking people, folks. Are you next? Are they going to kick down your door pre-dawn? Or mine? All of us? The violence, you can almost taste it. You really almost can. And I'm not promoting it. I'm not suggesting it's a great way to go. I just want you to know it seems to be in the wind. It does. Now, it's not some fat, red-headed, red-bearded dude singing Richmond north of Richmond. And by the way, they're trying to say he's a Democrat, man, and he's for Biden. He came out with a long response, and he said, this is the one time I'm going to address this. My problem was that all the politicians, everyone who has power that's using it and abusing it to screw us over. And when I listened to the song, that's what it sounded like to me. Now, he's not calling for violence, but other veterans are. Other veterans, other patriots, other red-blooded Americans who have enough of this shit. How about politicians? Are they calling for violence? Well, let me tell you about this one. You may have heard of this particular lady, Sarah Palin. Remember her? Yeah, I think it was back in 2008. She kind of hit the political stage. 2012, right? She ran for president, governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin. She is now responding to Trump and the persecution he's undergoing. I think she sees the danger that, yeah, she could be next too. Any politician, any citizen, any veteran, any one of us can be targeted by these pricks. So what does Sarah Palin say about Trump's persecution? Quote, this is her response, quote, do you want us to be in civil war? Because that's what's going to happen. Well, the answer to her question, do you want us to be in a civil war? The answer to her question from the government is yes. They want free Americans dying in the streets. They want blood in the streets. They want us to fire back. They want us to get mad. They want us to start threatening them. They want us to do that. They would love that, folks. Because then they could claim that, see how violent these right-wing extremists are. While their FBI runs around and kills people in the middle of the night. Their FBI arrest people for protesting. Their prosecutors, folks, throw people in prison for walking on public ground after being invited by police. The left-wing socialist scumbags are the ones persecuting, fabricating information. I want to remind you that Jack Smith, asshole prosecutor for Merrick Garland, Joe Biden, he's her little hitman, the little, shall we say, pit bull attack dog. His case has been dropped. He's been dismissed. You're done because he violated rules. The guy should also be facing charges for not just violating rules, folks, procedural rules, but for breaking the law. You think that's going to happen? Nope. Jack Smith won't see a day of jail time. He won't see a check-in. He won't see a mugshot of his own and released on bond with time served because he had to go to the police station. You'll never see that. These people will protect one another while they attack us. Where am I wrong? Am I mistaken? We're at 400 people live right now, and that is awesome. That's more than Joe Biden gets. It's more than Joe Biden gets. Share that internet address up there. Do it. Do it now. Hit the thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. Hit the subscribe button. Get subscribed. This is your show. If you want to talk, if you have a question, you have thoughts, if you have something you want to say, and you folks will be speaking to thousands and thousands of Americans. Hit the super chat button. Tell us what you want to talk about. I tell you, there's a lot I want to talk about, and I'm going to get to it right now. There really is. I just don't know where I want to start. There is just that much going on. There's that much. Man, I tell you. Where do I go? All right, let's do this one. At a college, they have these things called fraternities and sororities. Fraternities are living quarters where men, they share room and board. It's a fraternal organization. And girls, women, have sororities. And they're segregated by gender, specifically on purpose because, well, students in college are supposed to be there to learn. Apparently, education doesn't matter to the left-wing idiots anymore. It's all about partying and, I guess, poking things in your bum. Well, 6 sorority women filed a lawsuit because a transgender man who claimed to be a woman but has a penis between his legs, well, he was being allowed to join the sorority for girls. And the judge, he dismissed the lawsuit, threw it out. Said it's fine for a man to be in a sorority. That's what the left wing is all about here, folks. They're destroying everything and taking just intelligent thought and just throwing it out the fucking window. Well, the answer for these 6 women and every other woman who doesn't want to have anything to do with this nonsense is leave the sorority. Period. Right? You know, fraternal organizations, Phi Beta Kappa, the Alpha Betas, whatever, you know, is it really going to make a difference in your life? They like to say that, yeah, that fraternal orders are important and throughout life it'll matter. Well, only if you run into someone from your fraternity. And anyways, I get it. It's a club. It's fun. But are you going to go through life and say, yeah, I belong to I ate a pie sorority and we had a bunch of men in there? You think anyone's going to respect that or look up to that? Well, I guess that's resume enhancement if you're a freaking left-wing fruitcake. But just leave the sorority. Leave it empty. Oh, well, we'll get other girls in there. No problem then. Well, fine. Do it. Leave it. Walk away from this trash, this shitstorm, folks. That's really the best way to do it. That's my recommendation at this point. And I'm going to tell you, these trans fruitcakes, they're off their rockers, and they're doing more damage than you and I ever hear about. To children, to their families, to companies they work for, to the country, to the military. They're doing a shit pile of damage. Now, I'm going to read you a little bit of information so you can get a deeper understanding. And this is not bullying. This is just talking about a topic. There's a trans widow out there, and she wants to describe her, well, nightmarish marriage with her ex-husband, who became what she calls a fake woman. And this really is a story of perverted terrorism, folks. So this lady's name is Tracy, right? She noticed very odd behavior. And this is a Gateway Pundit article. And there's no way that normal social media will not allow this story to be told. But she noticed her husband was behaving very oddly. Like he loved shaving his legs in the bathroom when we get aroused, if you know what I mean. And he would secretly take her clothes, like her bras, and wear them, I guess, because she would find that they were stretched out. Now, she and this guy had 2 children. Well, I'm sorry, 3 children. 2 boys and a girl. That's right, they had genders. 2 boys and a girl. And they ended up having to see their dad transitioning into his new identity. Well, the wife didn't like seeing this, and she went to a marriage therapist with her husband, who is now dressing as a woman. And unbeknownst to her, this therapist was pro-tranny and was, sticking up for the guy, and actually told this lady that she must be a lesbian because she fell in love with a man who had an inner female or feminine side. So not only did she get told that, everything's just great with this, and by the way, you're gay too. That's what these doctors and fruitcakes are pushing on people, folks. So the therapist continued to encourage the husband to transition. And he secretly did it and started growing breasts because he was taking female hormones. And then this guy, this man, supposedly man, husband, father, guess what he started doing? He started wearing some of the baby daughter's clothing, like her bows. Right? Little bows, little accessories. Now, Tracy, the wife, right, she said, quote, "I couldn't stay in the marriage and let him violate her." That's what she saw this as violation. The daughter was 5 years old when the couple ended up divorcing. Now, the Texas divorce court ordered therapy for the children, who were then told, folks, that they could no longer call their father dad. Right? The children were like tormented because the dad wanted to hug them with his big fat breasts. Right? Her children, folks. Her children attempted suicide several times. Several times. And the court action was going because the ex-husband's abusive female to male transsexual lover was a problem. The ex-husband was aided by a transgender activist lawyer or lawyers who saw this as a big opportunity to put trans parental rights in the courts. The kids at the dad's place with the dad's lover or whatever the hell that was, the children were exposed to inappropriate sex toys. They were just lying around the house. It's absolutely awful, folks, how these people treat others and what they do to families, kids, etc. It's unfucking believable. Now, the ex-wife, right? We'll call her the trans widow, because her husband died essentially. right? His boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, a female to male transsexual who was on testosterone. So as the husband who became a woman found a woman who wanted to become a man. Threatened to kill the kids, threatened to kill the ex-husband, threatened to kill her, the wife. Right? The transitioning dad watched pornography on TV in front of the daughter. He said he never did, but the daughter said, oh, yes, it happened. These people are that fucked up, folks. This is the side of the tranny world that they don't want us to hear about, that the mainstream media, that politicians will never tell, that social media hides. What do you think? Well, is there another side to the story? How do you excuse away watching porn in front of a 5-year-old daughter? How do you excuse away children being so alienated, so freaked out over everything that they want to commit suicide? How do you explain that away? How do you excuse that? How do you accept that? I don't think you can. All right, enough of me. Let's see what you want to talk about. Jolene says that someone has something to say out there, and it is Penelope Roberto with a $10 super chat donation. Said, I stopped prepping. The illusion that you can hide from what's going to happen is crazy. You need to be ready to go on offense. Well, Penelope, I hope that you, prepping. What is prepping? Prepping is having food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and the means of self-defense. Right? A self-defense. And a lot of people say that the best defense is a good offense. So the need for prepping is not to deal with offense or defense. It's to deal with the system failing, the infrastructure system failing, people failing, corporations pulling out of neighborhoods, out of towns because they're being robbed regularly, and the police will do nothing about it, and the court system will do nothing about it, and the politicians will do nothing about it. I think that we actually have a bigger need for prepping now than we did last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, or 10 years ago. Right? The reason to have prepping in mind, prepping in place, is so you don't have to rely on anyone else if things get so bad and folks go on the offense. That is exactly what I believe happened in 2020. The insane leftists went on the offense. They went from big cities into suburbs, and then they went into little towns causing trouble. They went on the offense. People responded, and they too went on the offense. You could say some went on defense, but a lot of them went on the offense. Left-wing lunatics were shot. They were beaten up. They were kicked out. Other cities, they were allowed to roam free, burn, loot, and murder. That's in the big cities. In little towns, people went on the offense and protected themselves. And I recommend that you protect yourselves. The idea of protection is called self-defense. That doesn't mean you sit behind a door and wait for someone to come through it before you do anything about it. Right? The best defense is a good offense. And being prepared, I think, is something that is important now, and it's been part of humanity, part of living for a long time. For not just years or decades, but for centuries and millennia, people, well, they farm, they grow vegetables, they can them, they dry them, they have animals, and they take care of themselves. Small farms, small communities, small areas. Right? Prepping is what you do. Prepping is saving today for what you could need tomorrow. Now, you need to be ready to go on the offense. I am. At any point, I could go on the offense. Anyone could. I'm not recommending anyone take violent steps because I'm not allowed to say those words. And someone would come knock on my door if I were to start saying, you need to get your stuff and go out there and start making things happen. I am not the person that says do that. I shouldn't be that person that has to say, America will know when it's time. We're all going to know when it's time. Will the entire country go at once on the offense? Or will it be certain states like Texas or Louisiana or New Mexico? Or will it be a state like South Dakota or Montana? Will it be Kentucky or Tennessee or South Carolina or Georgia? We're going to find out when people have had enough. I hope when you say you stopped prepping, maybe you mean you've decided to take a different cause. I would caution you to be very careful. And if you feel like things are out of control in your world, get some help. I want to be very cautious in what I say. I'm not recommending anybody become violent or take action that hurts others. What I'm saying is the left, the Democrats, have done that, and they're going to do it again, and we need to be prepared for that. That's what prepping is. Anyways, Penelope, I thank you very much for the super chat donation and bringing the topic up. Can we put that back up just for one quick moment, please? Just for one quick moment, if it's available. Well, there we go. The illusion that you can hide from what's going to happen is crazy. If you are in an extremely rural environment, I wanted to address this last part. Extremely rural, remote, if you will, when you're living way out in the country, 20, 30, 50 miles from people. There's no other homes anywhere from you. Yeah, you can hide that way. If you're off the road, off the beaten path, for about 99% of America, that's not an option. It would be an illusion that you can hide from what's going to happen. It's crazy to think that no one's going to know where you're at and that nobody can get to you. It's just, will it be one person, 5 people, or will it be an army of 100 socialist idiots coming down the street, making people's lives hell? I might consider that as the time that you will be going on the offense, because as they come down the street, they're not there to make friends. They're not selling Bibles to raise money. No, they're not doing those things. They're there to make your life hell. And at that point, I think you'll understand offense is what is left to do. I really hope it doesn't come to that, but it probably will in some areas. Okay, thank you again, Penelope, and thank you. Please be safe. Please be safe. Okay, I now want to shift gears in what I'm talking about to the subject of Hawaii. Hawaii. It burned, caught fire. People were displaced. An entire city was destroyed. Little city. It's a little city, cute little city. And what did Biden do to make things better? Well, he flew to Hawaii and did nothing for the people. Then he flew back. And, the people of Maui flipped him the bird, gave him the middle finger. And he left his extended Lake Tahoe vacation, and he got the finger again from people. Brandon, let's go, Brandon. You're number one, buddy. People have had enough of this jackass. They've had enough of it. But he's not going away, is he? The next chance we have to make him go away is 2024. Kevin McCarthy is not going to impeach him. Kevin McCarthy is a chicken shit. Kevin McCarthy is a POS. Right? The whole world wants to give Biden the middle finger. The whole world is giving Biden the middle finger. His corruption is off the hook. It is. And Kevin McCarthy isn't going to do a damn thing about it. Nope. Wow. Senator John Kennedy, he has sounded off and gone off this weekend over the scandals that are surrounding Hunter and Joe Biden. He calls it privilege and sleaze. Folks, this is all wind, but no storm, no lightning, no thunder. It's just hot air. I'm sick of these politicians. They know exactly what's going on, yet they're doing nothing about it. What is going to happen? When is something going to happen? What is going to be done about it? Right? Trump was in jail. Trump went down to Georgia, right? Because the devil went down to Georgia first and fucked everything up down there. He went down there and the people were screaming, "Free Trump." People went to the courthouse and were screaming, "Free Trump." I don't think the people of this country are very happy with the way things are going. And the people really aren't happy with just senators and congressmen blustering, just talking shit, but doing nothing about it. It's all wind, folks. It's all hot air. Kevin McCarthy, no, he's still not going to commit to impeachment. He kind of dances around the idea. People are asking him about it, and he's ho-humish. Am I wrong, or is this guy a piece of shit? How much information needs to be exposed out there? Why is Kevin McCarthy allowed to be the Speaker of the House if he will not take action to correct the injustice that's going on? Folks, that's why it's shit. It's the fan. It has hit the fan. We have fruitcakes run amok. We have fruitcakes in office. We have just chaos around the world. And nobody with authority and power is doing anything about it. I think that's kind of the message here. That's kind of the message. We're heading to 500 people live right now. If you've got something you want to talk about, hit that super chat button right up there. Make a donation. Get your question down here on the board. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Share that internet address right up there. Get people here watching. Text it, email it, carrier pigeon, delivery rabbit. I don't give a shit. Get it out there, folks. We need to wake up. Jolene, we got a super chat donation on board. Where are we going to go with this? It is Flowing Brook 1, who's a YouTube member and is a $10 super chat donation. Thank you very, very much. And what is written here is we need to come together and once a day have a silent prayer for peace. If Satanists have their rituals, then we can have ours. We are a larger population than them. I tell you what, I think that's a great idea. I wake up and ask for peace at least once a day, me personally. I ask for peace. I ask for forgiveness. I ask for wisdom. And I ask for bravery. I ask for insight. I ask for discernment between good and evil. I ask for a lot of different things, including peace. And I think that's why we have peace. We do not have all-out war in Europe, though we now have war in Europe, which we haven't had since World War II. And I know that we had the Balkans. We had some issues in the former Yugoslavian states. We had Slobodan Milosevic. Remember that name? He was ethnically cleansing, that is to say, killing people he didn't like that were part of another ethnicity. Kind of like Zelensky in Ukraine was killing people of another ethnicity with his Azov battalion, his Nazis. They were killing ethnic Russians in eastern Ukraine. And those territories are no longer Ukrainian. Now they're free states and a member of the Russian Federation. Thank God Putin has not gone nuclear. A nuclear superpower, yes, and he's not done it. That's pretty peaceful the way he's gone about doing things. Thank God and thank goodness that he's got a cooler head than most. Just unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. Let's do another super chat donation if we shall, Jolene. We're rolling up on the first hour. We're going to go 2 hours today, as long as you guys want to keep on chatting. We're at 450 people live, and I want us to hit 500 live. Share that internet address right now. We got William Nipper with a $9.99 super chat donation. And he said, any validity to forced Jim Jones juice that in the near future I keep hearing about? Yeah, there's a lot of validity to forced us, me, you, citizens, being forced to take the Jim Jones juice in the near future. Yeah, there's a lot of validity to it. And it was reinforced this weekend by Joe Biden who said that they're going to have one that works. Well, I thought the other one worked. It was safe and effective. No, now they're going to have one that really works. And whether you had one before or not, everyone's going to get it. That to me sounds like, once again, an executive mandate, which of course he has no authority to do. Look in the Constitution. Read it. Look under the president and see where the president has the power to just tell us what to do and we have to comply. There is no emergency power that it gives them, the president, or any member of Congress, the power to tell us to do anything. It's really not there. There's no power, no authority that gives them any way to tell us what to do. It's not there. You can't just say, well, it's an emergency, therefore you have to. Well, I'm the president, therefore you have to. I signed a piece of paper, and therefore you have to do as I'm telling you. It doesn't exist. It's fiction. It's made up. In fact, it's constitutional heresy as far as I'm concerned. These people are that big dunderheads. Truly, folks. These people are incredible legal, well, morons. They're dangerous. Kind of like this story right here, folks. Did you know that 19th century pineapple plantations, that is, in the 1800s on Maui, they started planting pineapples there? Did you know that that has turned Maui into the flaming tinderbox that it is today? That's right. Now there's Hawaiian fires. There's fires in Hawaii. Wildfires. Because 150 years ago, they planted pineapples. And so, well, weather patterns have been delayed for 100 years. And now, as a result of what they did in the 1800s, went all the way through the 1900s, we're in the 2020s. Now we're going to have wildfires in a rainforest island. Are you believing this shit, folks? That's how ridiculous they are. These left-wing climate crisis idiots. Pineapples are native to Hawaii. Sugarcane? Why don't they blame it on sugarcane? Oh, they don't grow sugarcane on Maui anymore. When I went there in 2011 to Maui, drove past hundreds and hundreds of acres of sugarcane, you know, C&H, pure cane sugar. That's Hawaii, growing in the sun. Yeah, that one. No more sugarcane there. I don't know where they're getting their sugarcane from, but it's not Maui. It is a rainforest-covered island. They do grow pineapples there, but there are no longer huge pineapple plantations. So we have to look back to the 1800s and blame them. That's how fucking stupid these people are. So when they tell you a man can be pregnant, are you going to believe them? When they tell you pineapples are to blame for the fires they have in Maui? Oh, by the way, there's another fire. You bet. Right now. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now, there's another fire in Maui. You bet. Oh, also, we now have fires in Louisiana. That's right, folks. The largest fire in Louisiana's history is burning right now. That's what the government is saying. It's a wildfire, and it's the biggest ever. An entire southwestern Louisiana town. Southwestern, that means closer to Texas. Mandatory evacuation of the entire town. Folks, the Biden world is a dumpster fire. The Biden world is on fire. Louisiana, California, Oregon, Washington, Texas. Hawaii is on fire. Have you ever heard of a wet, moist jungle burning? It's incredible. Now, if you go to the big island of Hawaii, by the way, and you go to the southwest corner, southeast corner, that's where the volcano erupted. And it spewed billions of cubic feet of molten lava. And what did it do? It singed and burned and incinerated everything in its path, including beautiful tide pools and coral beds on the southeast corner of the Big Island. The lava poured through the jungles, folks, poured through housing tracts, destroyed houses, but the rest of the island didn't catch on fire. The rest of the island didn't go up in flames. The only thing that was destroyed was where the lava was at. Otherwise, everywhere else, everything was just fine. It didn't catch the rest of the island on fire. Why? Because it's a jungle, folks. And it's a dumpster fire. If you've got something to say, hit that super chat button, bring your topic up, we'll put it on the board and we'll do it. We're inching closer and closer. Closer and closer, folks, to 500 people live. Hit that thumbs up. Get your questions down below. Join the conversation. And if you've got something to say, share it. Looking over here, I see we've got almost 700 comments going right now. That's a lot of commenting, folks. There's a lot to talk about there. Okay, so let's see. We've got Louisiana on fire. We got Hawaii on fire. Oh, Greece. The nation of Greece is on fire. You bet, folks, it's on fire. Yep. And Maui has a level 3 evacuation order because there's a new brush fire. Sounds normal, doesn't it? Hell, what the hell? There's another fire. Right. Level 3 evacuation. You bet. Burn down the fucking island, huh? Unbelievable, folks. Maui and Greece. Now, on Greece, folks, get this. This is now Europe's largest ever wildfire. Islands, mainland, the south, the north, Greece, Europe. You want your answer to the solution? You want your answer to the problem? You want to know what the fuck is going on? Greece. In Greece, the police have arrested 80, folks. 80 people have been arrested. They're arsonist scum, folks. They've arrested 80 arsonists. Do we all know who the problem is yet? Do we know who's causing the fires in Louisiana, in California, in Oregon, in Washington, in Texas, in Arizona, in New Mexico, in Nevada, in Utah, in Colorado? Do you get it yet? Do we know who the problem is? Do we know what's causing the fires? 80 arsonists have been caught in Greece. Can you say left-wing socialist arsonists who are just causing everything to burn that they can? They got a fucking college professor starting fires in California. Firemen for California state, CDF. California. These are human-caused disasters. They're doing it intentionally. Right, we all know who the problem is now, huh? It's a big no duh. It's these left-wing arsonists. And Greece has let the public know we caught 80 of them. Why would they do this, folks? Ask yourself why. Why do they? It's a simple question. Is it, why are they burning parts of Hawaii down? To get people out of there. To destroy people's lives. Who wants Hawaii, folks? It is literally a paradise. So who wants it? Who has a home there? And I'm going to go here on this. Mark Zuckerberg. He's got a home there. He's got an enormous, shall we say, sprawling estate. You think he's going to leave Maui? Fat fucking chance. They want tourists done. How many times have we said, look, the average person can afford to get on a plane and travel and go somewhere on vacation? The super rich left-wing scumbags do not like that. The powerful politicians don't like that. How special are they if we can take the same damn vacation as them? In 2018, I spent 11 days on the beach just outside of Lahaina. That's right, a little nobody like me could afford to live on the fucking beach for 11 days. Now, nobody can. They're shutting it all down, folks. They're shutting down travel. They're shutting down vacations. They're shutting down economies. They're shutting down farming. They're shutting down livestock. They're shutting down meat. They're shutting us down, folks, and they want to do what? What do they want to do? Think about it. Are you ready for this shit? They want to shut down the economy again. They want to shut down schools. They want to shut down businesses and lock us all down with another pandemic, another bullshit pandemic. Are you going to buy it? Are you going to stay home? Are you going to put on your fucking mask? Are you going to go down the aisles of the stores and follow the arrows? Are you going to social distance at 6 feet? Are you going to allow someone to bully you, push you around, yell at you? Was it time to go on the offense? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg is going to stand in line? No, he pays people to stand in line for him. George Soros, Alex Soros, do you think they're going to suffer a bit because of this? Not a fucking chance. They don't take the same roads. They don't use the same vehicles. They don't fly in the same planes. They don't. I think the evidence is right in our face. It's pretty stark. Who is doing this and who's causing the problems? Who's doing it? Who's doing it? In Romania, folks, that's over there in Europe. They had a liquid petroleum gas, LPG. They had an LPG plant explode. One part of it blew up. They brought in firefighters. Another part exploded, injuring firefighters. You bet people are going to get injured and fucked up. All of a sudden, I'm asking you this question, all of a sudden the whole world is fire safety stupid? All of a sudden we just forgot how to be safe with fire? All of a sudden we're going to have these, is this just an accident? Does this kind of shit happen all the time? That's what fire safety and rules are all about when it comes to combustibles. It's incredible to me. LPG, right? A liquid petroleum gas, a propane, if you will. LNG is liquid natural gas. It's been around for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades. There shouldn't be any question about how to handle it and work with it. Safety codes, they're in place so that people don't do stupid things. Yet all we're seeing is stupid. There's a fire, so we barricade people in. Have you seen the photos of Lahaina? Cars just parked in the road on Front Street. I guess the people had to jump out of their cars into the ocean for safety to get away from that, or they just burned in their cars, burned to death. We don't understand fire all of a sudden, so we lock people in a fire zone. We turn the water off. We don't allow water to come down from natural reservoirs to be used. Unfucking believable. It just is. It's shocking to me, and it's irritating and frustrating. No wonder I need to get out once a week just to clear my head and relax for a few minutes. I think that everyone else should do that as well. Really, you should. All right, let's do this. We got another super chat donation. What do you guys want to talk about? After all, this is Sunday. It's Sunday Night Live. This is the zoo, and it's your chance to talk about topics that matter to you. I've got my topics. I want to hear what you guys want to talk about. What's on your mind? Jolene, who do we want to put up there next? And it is none other than Mr. Skylight with a $19.99 super chat donation. Thank you very much, Mr. Skylight. That makes sure that I have, well, plenty of Spam, tuna fish, you bet, rice, beans, whatever it takes to keep my pantry full. Thank you, Mr. Skylight, very much. Every dollar helps. We've got bills to pay just like everyone else, and it helps. So Mr. Skylight has a great quote coming from Maimonides, who is a 12th century Spanish philosopher. And he said, the risk of a wrong decision is preferable to the terror of indecision. That is a very interesting quote. The risk of a wrong decision is preferable to the terror of indecision. What does he mean by that? What did he mean by that? Is it applicable today? Interestingly, back in the 12th century, imagine this in the 1100s, folks, someone saying that. What could he be applying it to in the 1200s? The risk of a wrong decision is preferable to the terror of indecision. Well, in Spain, that would be the Moors coming through North Africa and invading Portugal, Spain, parts of France, etc. That's what was going on there. That's what was going on there. So let's just say you don't know what to do. You flip a coin. The coin lands. You've got a 50-50 chance of those two options you had, one of them being right. That's your risk. If you make no decision, you don't flip a coin, you choose nothing and you just sit there, then you've taken absolutely no action. That is the terror of indecision, is that you've made nothing. You're frozen. You're petrified. You're indecisive. You don't have a plan. Your plan may not be perfect. You may not know everything to do at any time, right? What do I do? What do I do? Do I have a plan for everything? Is my plan perfect? Do I know everything in every situation? No. But to do nothing, to not be prepping, to not be armed, to not be prepared to take defensive action, to not be prepared to take offensive action, to not be prepared, to make no decision to do anything. That is terror. Now, let's just say you're on your street with several of your neighbors. You're armed. You're there to protect your street, your families, your lives, your fortunes, your property, etc. And you've got a bunch of looting, burning terrorists coming down the street at you. You're going to be scared, and you should be. What decision do you make? You better make one decision, right? There's some risk that it'll be wrong. There's going to be a consequence, right, for every decision that's made along the way. But to do nothing, that's the street that has nobody who's prepared, nobody who's armed, nobody who has communicated with their neighbors and said, we need to protect ourselves. And so they're faced with the terror of these burning, looting, and murdering scumbags. I feel now, a couple of years ago, back when Trump was president, I said, SHTF, it's SHTF light. We're going to have hotspots, right? SHTF hotspots, Mad Max hotspots, where things get nasty in little areas here and there, in cities across the country, around the world. There's going to be hotspots. It won't be every area, every city, right? Every street, every town, 100% full combat, killing each other. That's not what's going to happen, right? I said there's going to be hotspots. It seems to me that things right now are getting a lot hotter. They truly are getting a lot hotter. Thank you, Mr. Skylight, for your support. I really appreciate it quite a bit. Quite a bit. It helps, I'm telling you. Now, Fox News, they had their Republican debate, and the ratings were described as pathetic, while President Trump and Tucker Carlson, they had their interview, their sit down, their chit chat. They're over 250 million views now, folks. They're way over. I don't even know what it is anymore. 250 million was at the end of the week. Now we're at the end of the weekend. This is what I want to tell you. This is why you being here is so important. The bullshit BS NBC, the mainstream media, Fox News, how powerful are they compared to social media? Tucker and Trump were on Twitter, or X, if you will, formerly Twitter, now known as X. That's the power of social media, folks. That is me and you hooked in, plugged in to what is going on out there and sharing it amongst ourselves, sharing that internet address. Yes, we have to share it. This is how we get our message out. The BS NBC, MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, it's all crap. And they know it. No one's watching it. But Trump and Tucker got 250 million and more and growing people watching that interview. That is social media, folks. Thousands of people will watch this video right here before all is said and done. They may come on live. They may come afterwards. They'll be coming through and watching it all week long to see what the hell we were talking about. That's why your participation here is so key. You do a super chat donation. You get your question up here. You, whether you want to be famous or not, get to help others think. People learn quite a bit listening to Trump, listening to Tucker. They've learned probably a whole lot more than they would have listening to Joe Biden or a bunch of Republican wannabes up there debating each other while Trump wasn't there. We got some big fucking trouble. It's getting really nasty. Are you prepared? Let's do this. Let's do another super chat if we shall. We're at 460 people live, and I want to hit 500. So keep doing that. And if you're new, you check in, thumbs up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. So important. Jolene, where are we going now? We got Chin Music checking back in with another $19.99 super chat donation. He said, oh, here's a quote. Good God. And it's Thomas Sowell. And Thomas Sowell, by the way, folks, has been a philosopher who has been around for decades. At the end of the 20th century, into the 21st century, his wisdom continues. Thomas Sowell is a black man, a black American, and he does not, folks, follow the mainstream media, ghetto bullshit leftist crap. He is an intellectual philosopher of a huge proportion. I wouldn't be fit to iron his suit. Anyways, let's do the quote that Chin Music has provided. Quote, it's futile to try and talk facts and analysis with people who are enjoying a sense of moral superiority in their ignorance. Good God, that's brilliant. And Chin Music has his own. Every time a Marxist cries, an angel gets its wings. You bet. Think about, let's go back with Thomas Sowell. It's futile to try and talk facts and analysis with people who are enjoying a sense of moral superiority in their ignorance. Wow. How many times have you tried talking some sense to people and they don't want to fucking hear it? They feel superior. They know jack shit. They know dick about nothing. Yet, they're like, hey, man, I know better. Take your stuff elsewhere, you know. Really. That's what we've got. We've got these leftist ding-dongs who feel superior as they tell you it's fine for grown men to expose their genitals to children at drag queen shows. These same leftists think it's fine to send well over, where are we at now, $150 billion to Ukraine so they can fight that war. They feel morally superior in fighting that war, supporting Ukraine. By the way, all these people that had out their blue and yellow Ukraine flags, flying them high and proud over their support for causing World War III to blossom. Where's their flags? Where's their Hawaiian flags? Where's their Maui Island county flag? Where's their solidarity with Americans who are hurt, Americans who are suffering? Their moral superiority in doing what they've done to this country. Every one of these leftist idiots, every single one of them has done what? These Antifa types. They've beaten up old people. They've murdered people. They've burned businesses. They've set forests on fire. They've set neighborhoods on fire. They've set businesses on fire. And guess what? They feel moral superiority. They think they're educated, when in fact all they've been is indoctrinated. It's funny though, that's being rejected. And the Marxists are crying about it. So they're taking greater and greater extreme action. Their offense or their offenses are not just offensive, but they're effective. Look at the damage they're causing. But people are waking up. They don't want to hear the regular news. They want to hear what President Trump has to say. People are not going to the mainstream media and Fox and NBC and any of the others, the CNN, they're not going there. They're going to a chicken shit social media app called X or Twitter. They're coming to YouTube still. That's what we're doing here. That's why we're right here, so we can talk to one another. I want to thank you for supporting what it is I do. My mission is getting people to be prepared with food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and be prepared here so that when trouble comes, they'll be ready, right? Not just sitting back, but taking action. Prepping is an offensive move. You're taking action. You're not being indecisive. You're not just sitting back. You're taking action. You're telling others, get prepared. That's an offensive move. You're telling others, back up. I'm not doing this. You're not going to put a mask on me. There's no fucking way I'm going to take your Jim Jones juice. No, no, and no. That's offensive. You're on the offense. You're pushing back. You're telling, at the school board, you're telling teachers, you're telling the school boards, no more of this perverted shit. No more. No more critical race theory. It's all a lie. No more of this. We've got to fight back, folks. We've got to fight back. Now, with this new threat of cerveza bug lockdowns, the question is, are we going to be fooled again? Did we learn enough? What did we learn? That the government has no care or give a shit for you, your life, your business, your job, your family, your neighborhood, your school, your country, nothing. Are you going to be fooled again? Are you going to allow them to dominate you and run you over again? Are you? What are you going to do? What is your plan? What is your offensive move? Once again, I'm following Penelope, that line of thinking. There's no more need to be a prepper. It's time to go on the offense. Okay, what offense are you doing? What are how are you going to do this? How are we going to take action? Prep to action. What does that sound like to you? Something I've been saying for a couple of years now. Prep to action. Action is offense. Prepping allows you to take action. You've prepared mentally. Yeah, you've got all your food and stuff over here. You got some other stuff over here, some clothing. You got lots of guns around you. You're prepped. Now it's time to take action. Call, write, phone, carrier pigeon, whatever. Every single politician that you can get a hold of. Set up an email that blind carbon copies all of them the same message and send it to them every single day. Taking action, going on the offense, letting them know there will be no more lockdowns. I will not obey. I will not concede. I won't bend the knee. I won't give in. This is my country. These are my rights. It's my freedom. It's my life. You don't get to own it because you say that you're powerful. Are you going to be fooled again by these idiots, folks? Right? Are you going to allow them to do that to you and your kids again? This is a big one here. I want you to take a wild guess. There we go again. There we go. Folks, we've had another death in the world that a lot of people have heard about. The man was 36 years old. superstar athlete. Great shape. Age 36. Everyone's shocked. Everyone's scared. Everyone's concerned. What the hell is going on here? Bray Wyatt, who is a professional wrestler in the world of World Wrestling Entertainment, the WWE, he died. Unexpectedly, of course. Sad news for the world of entertainment. But these entertainers aren't just entertainers, folks. They're super athletes. If you've ever watched this wrestling, and I watched it as a kid, I've watched it as an adult, it's entertaining, but these guys are incredible athletes. Why did he die? What would have caused this guy to just keel over and pass away instantly? Take a wild fucking guess. And Joe Biden wants to give you something that he says works. Oh, it works. You bet. This huge, folks, huge. Another superstar dies. And on top of that, well, Dawood Davis of the Miami Dolphins got in a collision on the field. Dolphin down, folks. Preseason NFL football. Dolphins versus the Jaguars. Halted. Done. Now, didn't we see last season a professional football player get in a routine tackle situation and they had to drag his ass off the field? I guess we're going to see more of this. They halted the game. They stopped the game. It used to be when someone was injured, even seriously, they would take them off the field. They'd put them on a stretcher on one of those carts and off they go. Now they just stopped the fucking game. Yeah, it was preseason. I get it. Not as big a deal. But still, could it be another Jim Jones juice casualty? How many times do we got to see it? Tennis players, football players, baseball players, wrestlers, triathletes, swimmers, bicyclists, down. Children, folks, basketball players, super athletes. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. Oh, by the way, did you hear about the Brics? That's right, folks, Brics. The Brics Alliance. They allowed in what? Who did they admit? Let's see. Ethiopia. Who? Right? Argentina. Well, there's a crap hole of a country. Well, 6 new members. Well, how about, Egypt, yeah. Iran. Ooh, that's a weird one. The United Arab Emirates and also Saudi Arabia. That's right, the Saudis, who are led by Prince bin Salman, right? Mohammed bin Salman. BRICS. What is BRICS? It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. This is a financial, monetary, military trade union. And they want their currency, whatever the hell it's going to be. They want it to be used internationally because the U.S. and Europe have abused the SWIFT system and are punishing countries, entire countries that they don't like, which punishes the people. The people don't have any decision-making power. They have no more decision-making power in Iran than we have in America. Our stupid government makes all the decisions. So the stupid government of Iran makes decisions, and, well, everyone has to suffer then, don't they? So the U.S. petrodollar, folks, it's been hit with another chink. It was originally set up, the U.S. petrodollar, to reward Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates and other oil-producing countries that if they use our dollar, we'll offer protection to the region and we'll enjoy a standard of living in America higher than anywhere else. What are they doing? They're screwing it all up. Yes, they are. They're screwing it all up. Whew. I tell you what, folks, we got nothing but trouble coming. Are you prepared? What do you want to talk about? What is on your mind? What have you been hearing about? Hit that super chat button right up there. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, and folks, we will discuss it. We got a couple things I want to talk about here. When I read this, I could not believe it. Not only are they saying that climate change is an issue and that we have a climate crisis, but they're blaming everything on it. Pineapples in Hawaii, natural gas as a heating source, as a cooking source is bad. We need to outlaw it. Ceiling fans. Ceiling fans are the problem now. And people say there's not a problem. People don't want to be patriotic. People don't see a reason to fight back. Ceiling fans. They're going to fight climate change by banning ceiling fans. Unbelievable. By the way, Bob Barker died at age 99. He didn't go over. It's pretty crazy. Well, Bob Barker's done. You know that in England, they have a term. They call people wankers. I don't know if you've ever heard the term wanker. You bloody wanker. Well, what it means is penis. Well, it's not appropriate to call trans people wankers because it's not gender neutral. Since when do insults have to be gender neutral? Since when are insults supposed to obey anyone else's thoughts? It's crazy. And here we have a teacher of the month. That's right. Teacher of the month in Tennessee. Arrested and charged with raping students. And by the way, the teacher is a female. Teacher's a female. That's Biden's world, folks. This is Democrat world. Right? During the first 100 days of Chicago under the new mayor, Mayor Johnson, who is a communist Marxist scumbag, 204 deaths, folks. 204 deaths. 100 days, that's just over 3 months. That's what we got. That's what we've got, folks. What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind? I can just scroll through here, folks. And just find all kinds of shit. These people are insane and they're dangerous. Now, people are standing up and fighting back. I hope you are one of them. Carlos Santana, great rock star, guitar player, brought his own Latin mix into the music. He's been there since the 60s. Carlos Santana, right? Black Magic Woman. Probably his best album ever was Abraxas, but he's still out there rocking. He said, a woman is a woman and a man is a man. And they attacked him for it. Carlos Santana is an old fucking dude. Right? He's at least 75. Unbelievable. No one's allowed to have an opinion. Well, I'm glad he spoke up. And he is correct. A woman is a woman and a man is a man. And a man pretending to be a woman is still a man. He's just got mental problems. This is going to get worse. This is going to get worse. And speaking of rock stars, Eric Clapton, right, spoke out against the Jim Jones Jews after he took it, and it almost ruined and destroyed him. I wonder, is Eric Clapton going to take the new and improved Biden version of Jim Jones Jews? Makes you wonder, right? Four people shot. 2 people shot at a Chicago White Sox game. I could just sit here all day long and go through these different websites with you. What is going on, folks? I'll tell you what's going on. We're having an absolute meltdown of law and order and justice. Are you prepared? What do you want to talk about, folks? What's on your mind? I've got one for you here. In Jacksonville, Florida. That's right, Florida. A mass shooter went into a dollar store and decided he's going to start killing people. The guy's name is Palmitter. He had swastikas on his AR-15, and he wrote an incredible manifesto. The sheriff and others said, you know, it was like the manifesto of a madman. He said that this shooter, who had swastikas on his AR-15, was motivated by a hatred of black people. And he actually authored several manifestos. I want to remind everyone, this is not right-wing politics. This is not right-wing extremism. It's not right-wing anything. Nazis, folks, have the swastikas. Nazis are socialists. Nazis are left-wing. They're socialists. Nazis are socialists, and so is Joe Biden. Joe Biden has made racist comment after racist comment. Joe Biden is a socialist. Joe Biden is a white racist. Biden talks down black America all the time, and Biden is a socialist. The question is Biden a Nazi or is Biden a communist? They're both socialists. In either event, whether he is a communist socialist or a Nazi fascist socialist, Biden is a socialist and he's destroying this country. Am I wrong? Somebody correct me. Am I way off base on this? Is everything just fine? Is the military fine? Check that box, yes or no. Is the monetary system fine? Check that box, yes or no. Are the colleges fine? Check that box. How about our infrastructure? Are the trains running fine? Are ships getting unloaded fine? Is everything just Jim Dandy? Are we slipping down into a recession right now? Interest rates, how are they doing? Well, I tell you what, I guess it pays to save money now. Where are you going to put your money, though? Are you going to put it in a bank where they're going to collapse one day? They keep telling you the banks are fine. Are the banks fine? Yes or no? Check that box. Where are the missing children in Hawaii? Where could they be? Check that box. It's crazy, folks. You know they want to use every single mass shooter as an excuse to get rid of your right to self-defense, or if you wish, your right to be able to go on the offense and remove corrupt government. Let's just say this happened. Let's just say 100 men got together in a small town and they went and took City Hall and they told everyone in City Hall, you will not be coming back. You're all fired. Is that taking action? Is that going to change anything else about that city? What would the police do? Would the police go there and just start shooting everybody? Would the people that took City Hall back shoot the police? Would the judges come to work the next day? Would the street sweepers get in their little machines and sweep the streets? Right? Would the city workers go to work, the rest of them? Probably. Why wouldn't they? The people in City Hall wouldn't. Then what are they? They're a bunch of stinking bureaucrats who are there to tax people and tell them what to do. That's their job, they think. That's what they do, folks. I'm not recommending anyone do any of this. I'm certainly not glamorizing it. All of this is ugly as fuck. What do you think? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about? This is Sunday Night Live. It is your show and your chance to bring up the topics. It is. I mean, do you have to be a psychic? And I got an email that says world-renowned astrologer predicts massive events this month. Now, lately, we've had massive events, right? From an increase in war efforts between Ukraine and Russia, the sinking of military vessels, the bombing of buildings, food stations, right? We've had the leader of the Russian private military organization. Well, he's now dead. Now they're saying they found his DNA in the wreckage. I'm not buying that any more than I believe he even got on the plane. But we've got all of this going on. We got fires in Hawaii, fires in Greece, fires in Romania. We got fires all over the place. Fires in Louisiana. How many more fires are there that aren't even in the news that I don't know about? So does it take a world-renowned astrologer to tell the world that we got major events coming? Right? Am I psychic? I don't think so. I'm not psychic at all, folks. I'm just smart enough to look around at the world just like you. I really am. This is all we're doing, right? Is looking around at the world and going, what the hell is this all about? Are you prepared? Is being prepared the right thing to do? Being prepared is not just sitting on a stack of rice and a couple of cases of pork and beans and hiding in your basement. It's a whole lot more than that. And if you're an American, I really hope you're ready to defend your country. I really do. I hope you're ready to defend your country. And I still don't know what's up with this story. 2,000 children missing from Lahaina public schools. Is this Epstein's revenge? Where are these kids at? I don't know what to make of this story. Is it real or not? Just what the fuck is going on here? Now, when I was in Hawaii, and I've been on 3 different islands, the people of Hawaii love their kids and they love putting them in schools. It makes me wonder, where the heck are these kids? You know, why are they being kept away? Very interesting stuff going on. Unbelievable, folks. This is Sunday Night Live. We passed the 90-minute mark. We're closing in on the 2-hour mark. We were told years ago that voting machines were safe. We're rolling into the next election cycle. Believe it or not, holy shit, we're almost 3 years into the Biden administration. I didn't think the old fuck would make it 6 months before he fell down the stairs or slipped on a banana peel, choked on a hot dog, and died of cerveza bug. But here he is. He's still in there. And we're going into yet another election. Luckily, we got enough Republicans into Congress that at least it's not a Democrat Congress. It's just Democrat Senate, not the House. But still, we don't have we got a bunch of spineless pussies in there. Well, Brian Kemp, folks, that's the Republican, so-called Republican governor of Georgia. What's going on in Georgia? Oh, that's where in Fulton County they want to prosecute Trump and what, 17, 18 others for conspiracy, violation of RICO statutes, etc., for questioning an election. Well, how's this? The governor of Georgia has told Georgia voters, and this is the quote, if you give anybody a voting machine, they can hack it. That right there on his face is the governor himself saying, admitting to it, putting it out there for everyone to know. Yeah, you can hack these fucking things. Yet President Trump questions the voting machines and all of the other shenanigans that went on, and he needs to be arrested. right now, I can feel it out there. I can sense it. I'm like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I sense a great disturbance in the shopping force. Right now, there's a store somewhere in Los Angeles being raided in a flash mob. Oh, yeah, that did happen this weekend, by the way. More stores being flash mob raided. People coming in with trash bags and just breaking cases and stealing everything of value, throwing them in the bags and running out. But we can't arrest them. Oh, no. No. We can't do that. Yet, in Indiana, a goofball of a man was driving on a child's Power Wheels toy. You know what those are, right? Little fake Escalades or Jeeps or trucks or Corvettes, a little Barbie vet, right? Those are the Power Wheels thing. It's a plastic toy with a battery that pushes the toy around. Well, this man was arrested for drunk driving because he was on a Power Wheels toy in Indiana. You can go into you can break into a store, a department store, and rob them fucking blind. You can go into a supermarket and fill your shopping cart full of all the most expensive meats and just push it right on out through the front door. But don't you dare get on a child's toy if you've had a beer or you've got an open beer in your hand. That's just fucking ridiculous. But that's the world we live in now. Can you believe that shit? Can you? Well, believe it because it's real, folks. Now, I'm going to give you a date. Are you ready for this? A date. Not a date like let's go to dinner. Not that kind of date. But a date nonetheless. On October 4th, every cell phone, television, and radio, all of them, all at once, is going to get a FEMA system alert. That's right. FEMA is going to reach out to all of us. Every TV, every radio, every phone. And they're going to give us, right? They're going to show us how everything is interconnected, how they own everything. Unbelievable. Get ready, folks. If they can put an alert on your phone, guess what else they can do? They can shut it down. We live in that kind of world. George Orwell would be shitting his pants if he were alive. But since he's dead, he's probably just spinning in his grave. Unbelievable. Now, there's a woman who works for ESPN. Her name is Sage Steele. She's now leaving them. Well, when I look at a picture of Sage Steele, she looks black to me. Yep, I'm looking at a picture of her right now. She looks black, or half black, or partially black, or phenotypically black. But she is going to, quote, exercise First Amendment rights more freely by going somewhere else because ESPN is woke. Have you noticed this, folks? Everything is woke. I don't watch ESPN. I don't really know who Sage Steele is, but I'm glad she's making a point of this. We need to boycott woke. We need to step up for our rights. We need to take action. Prep to action. No sitting around and just hiding. You can't hide from these fucking people. They're everywhere. Whether it's your kids, your grandkids, your parents, your job, your work, your car, your town, your city, your state, anywhere on the planet, these fucking weirdos are out there. And who actually is hiding? Who's actually hiding? Who wants to hide from all the damage that they've done? The politicians. Who wants to build walls around their houses and walls around their property? Well, the rich, the powerful. They tell us we're not allowed to have a border or walls. We're not allowed to have rules and regulations, except unless, they need to control you. But the people that went out of control, left-wing lunatics, bums, illegal aliens, this is where we're at. It truly has hit the fan. This is right where we're at. All right, Jolene, let's do a super chat donation as we get close to the end of the show. And we've got Steve Bishop with a $10 super chat donation. He says, Semper Fi, John. And I'll say Semper Fi to you. So this has probably been discussed plenty, but if the USA falls, where would be the top 3 places you would send the women and children to be safe? Well, to send people out of the country, going to be a little tricky if the USA falls. Airplanes, air travel. Where would you send? You used to might think Canada would be a good place. Canada is every bit as dangerous, if not more, than America when it comes to left-wing socialist programs. Punishing people, forcing people to take the Jim Jones juice, forcing people to use someone else's pronouns. Yeah, it wouldn't be Canada, not anymore. I love Canadians. Canadian government is retarded. How about Mexico? Now, Mexico is no paradise, folks. Mexicans are still trying to come here. As bad as the United States is, Mexicans are still trying to come here. What does that tell you about Mexico and Central American countries? They're absolute shitholes. Well, maybe a few years ago, I'd say, let's put people on a boat, send them to Hawaii. Put them on a plane, send them to Hawaii. Yeah, there's a lot of food on the islands, a lot of tropical stuff. Got their own cows, their own cattle ranches. Yep. Not anymore, folks. Not anymore. Hawaii is a dangerous place. Very dangerous. I can't think of anywhere in South America. Certainly not Africa. Africa is a fucking disastrous hellhole also. Whether it's Northern Africa dealing with all of the Mediterranean states, Egypt, Libya, Israel, Lebanon, Turkey, Morocco, Tunisia. Yeah, there's no safe place over there. And then you want to go down to the West Coast, Sierra Leone, the Congo. Not so good there. Your children will be mining cobalt with their fingers out in a rainstorm. Well, how about South Africa? No chance. No, they're hunting white people. So, India, kind of crowded over there. Southeast Asia, fucking forget it. Australia, they're as bad as Canada. Absolutely as bad as Canada. South of the Antarctica, the South Pole, just too damn cold. Scandinavia, where my ancestors are from. No, they're idiots up there now. I might suggest Iceland, except it's fucking cold and they have, 3 or 4 active volcanoes there. Nowhere in Europe is safe. You see where I'm going with this? See where I'm going with this? I would say Russia, except it's so freaking cold, they wouldn't let you in anyways. And then you're subject to Russian oligarchs and their, how do I say this nicely? Their organized crime and racketeering schemes that they have rolling in there. China, not a fucking chance. Top 3 places I would send the women and children. Peru and Chile are messed up. Patagonia, too damn cold. French Guiana, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Panama. Certainly not Cuba. Puerto Rico, for fucking get it. It's rough. Top 3 places I would send them to be safe. It would have to be in the country. Period. It would have to be in the country. In our country. I would send them to where the temperature, the weather is mild. It's not frozen too bad in the winter, and it's not overly hot in the summer. As much as the southwest of the United States is beautiful, Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, it's hot as fuck in most places. Up in the mountains, though, if you can get up to that 4,000 or 5,000 foot elevation, you get some temperate weather up there. That would be a possibility. Kentucky, Tennessee, if you could get out into the country, make sure you have a pond with lots of fish. There's a lot of good people in this country, folks. I'm not trying to pick on anyone or ignore anyone. I would say along the Appalachian Mountains from North Carolina, South Carolina, into Georgia. Once again, out in the country where it's not too hot and not too cold. I want to stay below the snow line, so below 3,000 feet, but above 1,000 feet. I do like Mississippi. I do like Alabama. I do like Florida. I do like Louisiana. It's a little different lifestyle there. It's a little hotter. But anywhere that you can put down some roots and feel comfortable with the culture. I think that's important also, is what is the culture like that you're interested in? You know, women and children, family, your parents. You know, you want them to feel safe. Thank you, Mr. Uman. All roads lead to the Ozarks. I'll tell you what, I'm going to drink to that. Been a little bit low on the old scotch drinking tonight. I think I need to drink to that. All roads lead to the Ozarks. I think I named some of the places I would send women and children, send family to be safe, out of harm's way if possible. Either through the Southwest up in the mountains, or along the Appalachian Ridge in the mountains, or along the Gulf Coast, where you've got plenty of country. There are cities, yes. I would always avoid the cities. Not that you can't live in a city, not that the city is a death nail. It's just its own animal. It is. Now, let me ask you this. We're at the end of the show. If things go haywire, if things go south, if the United States of America falls, or rather the government fails, or the government attacks the people, what are you going to do? I ask myself this question. What am I going to do? Am I going to sit back where I'm at? Or am I going to join a crowd of angry, pissed off Americans and go demand something be done at the local level, or maybe the state level, or maybe, right, push for a confederation of new states that believe in freedom and liberty? You know, how far will you go? Are we that bad? Well, Sarah Palin, former presidential candidate, former governor of Alaska, she seems to think that we're heading for civil war. I tend to call it partisan conflict. We're heading that way, aren't we? Things are getting really fucking nasty pretty fast. Let me talk about this with you real quick. And we're running out of time. So if you've got a super chat donation and you want to talk, you better get it in now, because when I'm gone until 0 dark 30 tomorrow. But I want to talk about a subject that's really serious. President Trump going to jail, being prosecuted. If President Trump and some judge wants to make this case go, like some judge just doesn't throw it out because it's fucking ridiculous on its face. If they want to try President Trump and he is found guilty by some ridiculous means, because I know Fani Willis's case is, you know, you'd stand, never mind, fuck it. The case is terrible. What happens if Trump is found guilty and thrown in jail? What if they say, well, you can't run as president of the United States because you've been found guilty? They pull out some shit out their ass. It's a 14th Amendment thing. It's a 13th Amendment. It's a 12th Amendment thing. Right? Everything's a lie in Washington, D.C. Everything is a lie. It's just how big of a lie and who's telling it. Will this country dissolve into chaos if Trump is arrested, found guilty, and thrown in jail? Will this country dissolve into absolute chaos if Trump isn't allowed to run for president? Now, let's say they throw the fucking case out. It's a bullshit sham case anyways. Trump runs for president. What happens if he loses to Biden again? What is going to happen to this country? Because we know it's bullshit. Nobody likes Biden. Fuck Joe Biden is on flags that people fly in their cars, trucks, and boats. They fly it in their front yards. They put it in their business windows. The man is hated because he's just an asshole. You tell me the country's going to vote him into office again? Not buying it. Just not buying it. If Biden beats Trump in the election, what kind of chaos do you think will ensue? Would you encourage it? Would you participate in it? Would you do something about it? Or would you just sit back and go, not my problem. I'll let some other people handle it. When are you going to be ready to take action? How about this? How about Trump and the case? It's thrown out. Judge throws it out. Lawyers defeat it. Fuck Fani Willis. She's an idiot. She's a fucking idiot. Legal scholar, my ass. Trump runs for president against Joe Biden. Trump wins. Chaos ensues once again. See, no matter what I see, it's all chaos. It's social chaos, it's legal chaos, it's political chaos, it's media chaos, it's educational chaos, it's social, it's economic chaos, social chaos times 2. How bad will the Democrats lose their shit if everything goes crazy and Trump wins? Right? If Trump loses, you're shooting in anger. If Trump wins, you're shooting in glee. Holy shit, right? All right, let's do it. Jolene, what do we got stepping up? We got Flowing Brook 1 back again with another $5 super chat donation. It says, what will everyone do if in a 15-minute city, I just put a metal grill guard on my truck? No one will be stopping me. Yeah, this whole idea of 15-minute city. I don't know if the 15-minute city is to lock us in, to lock others out. Maybe at some point they would want to put a big gate around a 15-minute city. But the idea is that everything you'll ever need in your life is available within 15 minutes of you. Getting food, water, housing, clothing, education, a job, your career, your life, your death. Everything should be available to you in 15 minutes. I mean, maybe not 15 walking minutes. Maybe it'll be 15 driving minutes. But yeah, they love this idea. Why do they want it though? It is truly to keep us contained and keep us down. This is a neo-feudal idea, by the way. In fact, I heard of neo-feudalism over 20 years ago. Someone said, oh, we're going into a neo-feudal state. I was like, get the fuck out of here. One of the big deals with feudalism was, well, the lord of the land, be it duke, right? A duke, an earl, a count, some rich bastard, right, owned 30 square miles, and you belonged to him. And you couldn't leave that 30 square miles. That is your home. That is your world. You travel outside of that, you can be arrested, you can be killed. Because you're outside of your home. Right? It's supposed to be a human right. Right? You travel wherever the hell you want. Not in a feudal state. 15-minute cities, feudal states. Put a metal grill guard on your truck, on your car. Get some run flat tires or put Fix a flat in your tires. Do everything you can so your car is yours and you can go where you want with it. They can block roads, folks. They can block bridges. People in your side, people who are on your side may end up blocking bridges and roads to keep people out. We're going to find out what happens, folks. It's going to get nasty. That's where we're at now. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Get prepared and take offensive action to defend yourself, to defend our nation, which is a republic. Expose these scumbags and do us all a favor. Learn the Constitution. Help yourself, help others learn it as well. What do we got going on, Jolene? What do you got there? What do we have? Okay, there we are. Terrific. Thank you very much, Jolene. Thank you, Mr. Uman. We had a great crowd, a great broadcast. I want to thank everyone for participating in it. God bless America. Semper Fi.